Hey, welcome back to the cafe. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome back to my forever world. And a quick thank you for all the support on this series and my channel. Alright, now let's get on with the video. Make sure you grab your snacks and coffee and enjoy your time. We start our day by getting very distracted by some puppy dogs on the shore, so instead of adventuring off, I made a quick turnaround back to my house to grab some bones. Once I acquired all my bones, I quickly made my way back to these dogs and I tamed them easily. I grabbed the closest flower I could find and gave one a yellow collar, but kept the other one red because I don't have a red collared dog yet. I took them back home, they quickly teleported inside, and I got them sat with my dog Tombo. If you guys have any name suggestions for the yellow or red collared dog, let me know. After that quick detour, I hop back in my boat and sail the sea because today I'm looking for an azelia tree. I haven't been able to find any near my home, so I thought it's a good idea to head over to the birch forest and spruce forest around where we started to find one there. As I was zooming in, I saw the shape of an azelia and I made my way over there quite quickly. Once I docked, I mined my way up the little hill and I cut down this tree and waited for all the saplings to despawn. Hoping to get a couple flower and a couple non-flower, and we made out a pretty good haul. I then began my staircase down, hoping to find the cave that fingers crossed lies below. But I mined and I mined and I mined. I literally mined so long. Until finally, my pickaxe broke. So I quickly made my way back out of my little staircase. I went all the way back home across the ocean. And I docked back at my forever world. I ran inside and made a pickaxe. Quickly deciding I should probably make myself two so we don't end up in this situation yet again. And I didn't have any torches with me, which I thought was quite odd because I almost always have torches with me, so I made a couple of those as well, bringing wood to make more if needed. And I journeyed back again to the azelia tree. Here we are. I decided my approach this time would be slightly different and I dug straight down. I was too lazy and I knew it had to be here, and finally there was the delicious moss we were waiting for and I dug straight into this cave. Now I very quickly realized we are on the ceiling. Not to worry, I decided to place some water and jump on down. Now there was monsters left, right, center, top, bottom, so I decided my first plan of action would be to just avoid them and place torches everywhere because no point to kill them if they were just gonna spawn back in 2 seconds later. My goal is to not die this time around. But when I tell you there was so many mobs in this cave, I literally think like this was the hardest hard Minecraft I have ever played. Usually hard game difficulty, not too hard, but this was wild. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut past like the 30 minutes of me killing mobs and get to the fun stuff, but just imagine many near-death experiences. So now that that's all dealt with and the mobs are gone, the first task in order to do was to get moss, the moss carpet, azalea saplings, and the little drip leaves. Once I did that, it was time for glowberries and spores. So I went and just gathered a bunch of glowberries from around the cave. And whilst mining some iron, I bumped into another closed off area of the cave. And of course, I jumped straight in and gathered the materials that it provided for me. I mined out some more ores, I then found another area of the cave which I fearlessly jumped on down to. I was kindly greeted and surprised by some iron and diamonds waiting right there for me. It was a good chunk of iron, but sadly only one diamond. Once I left that area, I made my way back up and found an axolotl, which of course I took, which means we're gonna need to make a little cozy home and sanctuary for an axolotl now. Then I pillared back up and made my way out of the cave. Once I was at the surface, I boated my way on home. Look at our beautiful home off in the distance. It's really starting to come together. Once docked, I went ahead and put a couple things away in my new chest room. And then I went up and threw some junk in the chest I still have upstairs, unsure where yet to put it. And then I smelted my iron that I found. Not much, but we love anything we can get. And I decided today would be the day I stopped neglecting my animals. Finally. So I went and bred some chickens because I had a bunch of seeds on me from the lush cave. And then instead of just grabbing the crops from the barrels, I thought my animals deserved farm fresh today. So I decided to make my way up to the tower and do a nice harvest of everything. Like always, we started with potatoes, we went over to the carrots, and then next the beetroots, only to finish off with my favorite, the wheat field. This took the entire day, so I slept away once I had finished, and in the morning I went and gave my animals the best of the best, straight from the crop fields to their pens. Once I had finished feeding my animals, I walked away thinking they probably deserve a barn pretty soon because we've been talking about it since we docked at our forever world. Well, I'll add it to my mental to-do list. I then shuffled my way through our makeshift spruce tree farm, headed over my beautiful new bridge, and made my way into my enchanting cave. With all of the new things I got from the lush cave, I knew that this baby deserved a glow up. And glow up is exactly what I did. I started in the main cave and added some spore blossoms and some glowberries. I tried to do a pretty even covering around this entire area. Then I went through and added some moss carpet just to finish it and tie it all in together, and I think with the addition of green, it's amazing. The next step was to go into the hallway of the cave and just dress this area up as well. We'll be putting our Nether portal in here, so we want it to look just as good. I went through with cobblestone and then amethyst like I did with the enchanting table to give it the more magical look. I went through and dressed up all the walls and then went ahead and did all the floors. There's quite a long hallway here, and so it was quite fun to do the whole flooring, all the different patterns. So with that done, the last thing to do in this area was put in the leaves. I went all out. I put greenery everywhere, and I even went through and did some moss carpets as well. Enjoy this quick little walkthrough of everything we have worked on while I run to the Nether portal. Yes, I restocked on what I needed and we are going on in. So what we didn't do is get a good spawn, so I just made my way and mined the bone blocks for the bone meal because that's always useful. And I very quickly found myself in a hand-to-hand combat with a ghast. Now, I did win this hand-to-hand combat, but that was enough for me to say sayonara and leave the Nether immediately. Once I had left, I decided to do a few cosmetic and aesthetic things, and I went up to my farming tower and decided it was time to leaf it up. So that is exactly what I did. I just started putting leaves all over the place. I used to be like a viney leaf person, but now I'm really loving the more sporadic look. I feel like this makes it fit in with all the other builds in my area, and it just adds more to the eye. I absolutely love it. Once I had made my way down, I decided to stick to the leafy green theme and put a leaf hedge / fence leading to our cave. 1, this acts as a protective barrier, and 2, it just looks good. So I decided with making a leaf overhang to start right at the cave opening, and then I went through and I put some fences down. I did a mix of spruce and a mix of oak, and I just put them all over the place. Then I just sporadically put leaves throughout the way. I then did this on the other side, doing it quite randomly just to make it look overgrown. And random, of course. Now it was time to break a bunch of dirt around our path blocks to get an actual path up in this place. Once that was done, I went in with the blocks that I've been using for my path throughout my entire world. When the path was finished, I went and put a fence hedge right by the lake, and then I put lanterns around to light it up, and there it is. Once that was done, I had the itch to do a little bit of organizing because I just have random chests everywhere. So I got a lush cave chest and I put the new things we found, and then I decided a flower chest would be good because we live in the flower forest. I have so many. So I put all of the flowers in a chest together along with the dye. Then I went ahead and took some birch saplings and went outside to plant them because, as you know, birch is my crafting wood, so we need to keep a good stock. Now the next project of the day is my boat dock. As you know, I am a frequent boat user and I thought I want a cuter place to put my boat, so I decided to build a spruce dock, which just turns out being adorable. But not before I second guessed myself because of all of the I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone with building. It ended up looking good. Definitely not the normal way I would build a dock. I have a very specific way I like to build docks and they always look good. So this was different, but it ends up looking great. So I use a mix of oak and spruce as always for the logs, and then spruce for everything else like the trapdoors, slabs, and stairs and buttons. Then I use a couple wall types to put some little overhangs and fences in. Now of course the real question is, would it be me if I didn't put leaves everywhere? No, that's the correct answer. So I went in and I put some leaves all over, and then I did a slight bit of decorating to finish off this build. To complete it, I put a little path in, of course, the normal look we always do. I then tasked myself with something quite large. As you know, to go mining, we go all the way up these stairs and go to the huge hole in the ground. So I thought I should mark down these coordinates here and then build a tunnel all the way from my house. I don't fully finish it in this episode, but I get it fully mined out and get the floor, ceiling, and walls finished, but there's definitely some decorations I want to do. As you can see, I did mine into the basement, and this is in a really terrible spot, I have to say. I did not plan this well at all. So there's a lot of navigating we have to do with my basement, but then also the stairs going to the animal area. But just a short dig away, we made it, so now it is time to expand it, and I probably spent 2 hours mining out this entire area because I only had an iron pickaxe. Once it broke, I took it as a sign to go for an upgrade. So I went home and I made a diamond pickaxe, and I am gonna enchant it. I'm gonna do it. I have the levels, so I might as well go over to my beautiful enchanting cave we never even use and go ahead and enchant this pickaxe. I quickly got hit by a train because I turned around and see I never went back and finished the bookshelves, so I left. I killed some cows, I made some books, then I made some bookshelves. And just like that, I got a fortune and efficiency pick, and I was back to work mining out this 3x6 tall tunnel. It seemed like ages before we even hit the first corner, but after this, it was smooth sailing until we got to the little stair part over our basement. Because we had to go higher for our basement, that meant we ran into my stairs and path leading to my farming area. So we had to readjust. And then finally, I completed mining out this entire area. And I went in with a deep slate flooring, which I wouldn't have done, but I had to do because my basement ceiling is deep slate and we poked through to that. I have the stairs at the exit or entrance, depending how you look at it. And then I completed the oak wall. I finished off today with doing some campfires for an overhang, and that's about all we're gonna do for this tunnel today, but I promise we'll finish it soon. Now the final and biggest project of today, oh boy, I start by getting the resources I plan to be using and we make our way up to the animals. Yes, the animals. In order to love my animals, I first have to kill them down to be only 2 of them and relocate them for the time being. I got my cows. After I got the cows, it was time to get the poor sheep. Again, listen, they will be happier once this is finished. It had to be done. It had to be done. The pigs didn't pose such an easy task as the other animals, and I should have stopped while I was ahead because it got dark. I accidentally fed it, it ran away, a skeleton's trying to kill me. I freaked out, but don't worry, I grabbed another carrot and I got them safely inside their temp pen. Once that was finished, it was time to clear out all of those old pens and clear this land to get it prepped for the barns and pastures. I did a bit of terraforming on the sides and the front, and I completely sliced our back mountain in half, which you can't really see now, but you will. What you're watching is actually about 2.5 hours of digging and building, because I only have iron tools, so it was quite the adventure. It was quite the adventure. I hope we enjoy the final product to make all of this worth it. In these moments, I just have to remind myself this world is hypothetically forever, and so I can put in effort to the things that I want to make look good. I also clean up that stone in the back too. Fear not. Now, I will warn you, we didn't do enough barns for the pigs and chickens. We only have the cows and sheep, but this is a great start, and I'm really excited for you guys to see the final outcome. It's beautiful. So I stocked up on resources and we got to building. Now, let me tell you, of course these weren't enough resources to build the whole thing. I went back and forth so many times, but I thought I would show you guys my process. I really won't explain this build too much as I want to have this segment of a couple minutes to have a little bit of a more chatty time. Do you see I made it from oak wood to a red barn? I could not resist. But if you've made it this far, this 2-3 minute chat is for you specifically. Anyway, at this point in our world, we are about 100 days through, and I just want to say thank you so much, not only for the support on this series, but just my channel in general. This series has been so fun. They take quite a lot of time to make one episode. You are watching about 7 hours of footage taken over the span of days. And that's just raw footage that doesn't involve the editing or going back through the replay mod. It takes time. But I am passionate about it, and I feel like it's a way to express just small aspects of my creativity. Yes, through the building and all these long projects we do every episode, but also through the time I spent editing and perfecting what I've made. As with everything, there's always ways I can learn and grow, but I really just wanted to say thank you. We are 100 days in, and I feel like we've made some amazing progress, but not as much as others would. I'm super excited for you to see what I have planned for this world. We have not even began to scratch the surface of what I'm gonna do. Anyways, back to the video. We bring in our cows. Look at this barn, she turned out great. And I bring in my sheep If you see the cow jumping over the hay bale, no you don't. Here's how I dealt with it. I thought, okay, let me just separate this as best as I can. And I thought, instead of kill the sheep, let me just do the logical thing and try to bring it back to its own pen, right? It was making a way to exit, so I thought, yes, this is my moment. I pulled out the wheat, the cow was following. I was just gonna give it a tap, and it died. RIP, RIP, cow, death by me. But I got the sheep home safely. Now here we are all the way at the end. If you made it this far, thank you. I hope this was cozy and you enjoyed it. Seriously, thank you again for all the support in general. I hope you enjoyed the first 100 days. Here's to the next 100. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.